Judge.
Ms. Sanchez, you claim that the defendant, Mr. Guzman, plays a disappearing act when it comes to your child.
Yes, ma'am.
You say he not only doubts he is your daughter's father, but he constantly puts other women before her and he drifts in and out of your lives.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, today, you are seeking the results of a paternity test to try to get him to step up and act like a father.
Yes, ma'am.
And a real man.
Yes, ma'am.
You are also requesting the court award you $544.50 in child care costs for his half of your daughter's expenses.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Guzman.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you are here to defend yourself against Ms. Sanchez's allegations and confront her about her infidelity.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've even brought a witness to court today who will prove Ms. Sanchez is a cheater and a liar.
Yes, Your Honor.
And today, you will clear your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Guzman, what do you think is the real motive as to why your ex wants this paternity test?
Your Honor, it has nothing to do with the children. I believe it has more or less to do with me and her. She wants me here. She wanted me to come here and just to be around me.
Your Honor, nobody wants to be with a controlling, possessive person. He can do what he wants and go sleep with other women and leave me sitting at home waiting for him, and it doesn't happen that way. Your Honor, yes, I have slept with other people, and I have gave oral sex to other men, but it's not...
Oh, no big deal.
We weren't in a steady relationship, Your Honor.
Ms. Sanchez, so you're saying that you had sexual extracurricular activities, we'll call them, but you weren't in a committed relationship at the time?
No, he was sleeping with other people himself. He was in and out as he pleases. There would be a time he'd leave for a month and go love a girl and be in a steady relationship and then come back and tell me the same and play family guy.
I wouldn't go out doing what I wanted to. I left because of the fact that she didn't want to do anything I asked her to do. You know, I told her it's my way or the highway. You can either be a family person, or you can do whatever you want to go out, have fun, and go to parties and do what you want.
That was not
So wait a minute. Now, you were cheating as well?
Yes.
No, I was not cheating. She had done what she did.
Sleeping around is considered cheating. Sleeping around is considered cheating.
If you're doing what you want, then I don't see why I can't.
Don't play a fool.
Mr. Guzman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sanchez has admitted to cheating.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that what leads you to your doubt?
Yes, Your Honor. It does, because of the fact that she went skinny dipping with two of my friends. My friends let me know she went skinny dipping with them, and
skinny dipping is considered sex now. You can have kids by skinny dipping.
When they went in the house, Your Honor, she went into the room behind locked doors with him, and when they woke up in the next morning, she came out with one of my friends. And another thing is when we had a break, I came back to her house, I was putting my stuff in her closet, and I found a men's clothing.
Well, if you were taking care of business and not walking out on me with other females, it would be your clothes. Don't worry what's in my house. I pay my rent and my bills. No.
So, were you faithful during this time?
No.
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
If men can have kids, he would have like 20
I was.
of them.
She doesn't want to sit there and say
He sleeps around left and right. And he lets everybody know about it because he tells all these girls he loves them and such. No.
So, are you denying paternity of Michaela to mask your infidelities?
No, Your Honor.
Or do you
insecure.
truly
He wants to
have
be
doubts
control
as
of
to whether or
everything.
not
I truly have doubts
yours?
about it. I do. I have doubts because of the fact of what she's done in...
You have doubts because you want to run amok and it's an excuse for you to go run amok. No.
No.
So as you look at this beautiful child, do you see yourself?
Yep. That's all him. Can I get a round of applause?
No, because of her face, her hair color, everything. It's not, honestly.
Have you been a father to her?
No.
I believe I am. I help out when I can,
Your Honor,
but I'm not going to take care of a kid that I don't know 100% is mine.
Okay. Let's go to your witness. Please stand, sir.
You can do it all the time.
State your name.
My name is Joe Guzman.
Mr. Guzman, you are the defendant's brother?
Yes.
And what would you like to add?
I'd like to add that I went to a party and I witnessed her walk into a room with another guy. She
Why
went in the
don't you
room.
mind your business?
She
What
locked
I
the
do
door.
is
She
none
was
of
in
your
there for a good
business.
30, 45
What
minutes.
I do is
know,
none of your business.
Nobody else in the
If your
room.
brother
It's just
was
her.
taking
And
So
care-
wait.
I wouldn't have to be in
Hold
another
on, Ms.
room.
Sanchez, hold on. So, Mr. Guzman, is it your testimony that you've witnessed Ms. Sanchez at a party walk into a room with another man?
Yes.
And she's behind a closed door for 30 or 45 minutes and then emerge.
Yes.
Now, is this during the time that she's supposedly in a relationship with your brother?
No.
She said she wasn't. She said that they were on a break. But when are they not on a break?
What is this? Is this an on and off again relationship, but it's more off than on?
It's off
and then
when- no,
everything
it's
is a
off.
break.
Ridiculous.
Like, this is not college. You all are producing children potentially, and you all keep talking about you on break. I'm on break. I'm on winter break. I'm on spring break. This is ridiculous. Were you or were you not in a relationship?
Once he found out I was
I
pregnant,
believe
we
you
were
were.
not in a relationship. He came around when he wanted, Your Honor. The only time that I was messing around
came
is
around
on our
when she
breaks.
wanted it.
And
She
our
wanted to have
breaks
sex.
consist.
That was about it.
What is a break?
It's when Eric says, I can't do this no more, and he walks out with a bag because he got nowhere else to go because he's messing with some rack old females that can't afford their own place. I take care of my kids 24/7. So what I do, if I am or not sleeping with another man, this guy needs to understand if he was working the sheets right, I wouldn't be going to get it anywhere else.
She sat there and she asked me for sex just a month and a half.
When I
ago.
can't get it
She
somewhere,
asked me
yes,
just a
I
month
go
and a half
to you.
ago.
Why not?
She sits
Why
there and
not?
acts like
Don't
she
be
doesn't
mad
want me
because you're
right
giving
now.
it to me, right?
Wait a minute. So you have an older child and now Michaela.
Yes.
And Michaela's paternity is what really destroyed this relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
And you've admitted that you were with other people during the time of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore you must understand the source of his doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. The bottom line is, Mr. Guzman, there are times when you look at this young woman and you say, I do want to be in a relationship. We do have an older child together. We potentially have 2 children. And then the next thing you know, that doubt begins to resurface in your mind. And then you act out, you pack up, and you leave again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, even though it is understandable why that doubt continues to rummage through your mind because she's admitted that she was sleeping with other people, you have to understand how completely frustrating it can be and overwhelming, not just
Your
to
Honor, my
Ms.
daughter
Sanchez,
is-
but to the children, that you keep coming back home like you're gonna be a family, then the next thing you know, you're full of doubt. As she said, you pack your little bag and leave out the house, only to come again.
Your Honor,
This
my
is
daughter is 4
exhausting
years-
even for me to listen to. I can't imagine living it. And then, Ms. Sanchez, why do you keep letting him in?
Because I love him. I came from a family that my mother raised us herself. And he came into my life as my best friend. When things were going on in the home, he would take me out. He was my security. I want this to work for the sake of my kids. If you can't do it, then let me know. Stop playing games with my heart and telling me I want to be a family man and then walk out on me and my kids. My kids have to suffer, not me. When he wants to come and be Mr. Family Man, it's okay. But then he sits there and the next day, I'm not your daddy. He's turned to my daughter and told her, tell your mommy to find your real daddy because I ain't your daddy.
Hold on. Mr. Guzman, is that true?
I never said that I wasn't your dad. I never told her in front of her face. I told me and Martha were
Hold
talking.
on 1 second. Take that smirk off your face and answer my question. Did you look at that little girl?
Me and her mom were having a discussion, and I told her mother that she needs to find the real father for her child.
While my daughter
In
was
front
present.
of her?
Yes.
No,
Yes, Your Honor.
Michaela was in the living room while we were in the
No,
room.
Your Honor.
But of course, she's gonna make me look bad. You know, that's just what she does.
Why won't he tell
No,
you about the time that
the
he
truth
brought
is
his-
you're making yourself look bad, because if a child is in earshot of something you're saying about your relationship, but especially regarding her paternity, that's very small of you to
ask him
even risk that a child could hear something like that.
Ask him about
That
the
could
time he
affect her
brought.
for the rest of her life.
Your Honor.
Now, let me say this. You're a grown man,
That's right.
and you can't live with the doubt. You got one child that you know is yours, and you can't keep your butt at home long enough because the doubt is plaguing me, you say, right?
Right.
Imagine the seed you're planting in that child's mind when you let her know that there may be doubt regarding who her father is. Now you're putting that same misery that you're living with on her. Is that fair?
No, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Sanchez, what are you trying to say? I'm sorry, I had to.
This has been going on since when I found out I was pregnant. During my pregnancy, he was doubting in and out as well. As a pregnant woman, the only support I had was friends here and there. When I ended up pregnant and in labor, I had a scheduled C-section due to my first pregnancy being a C-section. I went in, I had the baby, he came last minute. And when he got there, he had the nerve to ask me if his little girlfriend can come into my labor room and see the baby. And at that time, I already knew they were sleeping together because it was posted on MySpace, Facebook, and all this other stuff.
Nobody was sleeping with anybody.
Yes,
it was a friend. It was a mutual friend of ours.
Look, I have had a baby. I've been in the hospital. It's not a time for extra guests. It ain't no guest list. Who are you bringing up to the hospital after I just had my baby talking about can they see the baby? You don't even want that many people to hold your baby. All the mothers are saying, absolutely. Who is this woman you brought up there?
It was a mutual friend. We've known her since childhood, and she wanted to just come to see the kid.
So you've both known her since childhood.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you believe that he had something going on with this girl.
It's guaranteed. I 100% sure this female slept with him.
Did you?
After the fact.
Mr. Guzman, look, first of all, I want to say, I know why you have doubt. Ms. Sanchez has admitted to her behavior, and that gives you good reason to have doubt. However, bringing another woman up to the hospital when you're having a baby potentially with another young woman, and then indicating that later, yes, I did sleep with that woman.
Yeah, I could see where that looks bad, Your Honor.
Yes, it looks really bad.
It doesn't look, it is really bad.
Ms. Sanchez, for everything you've gotten wrong, because you honestly don't know who the father of your child is.
Yes, Your Honor.
But there's one thing you're getting right, is you're trying to break a cycle.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say your mother raised you. You had no father in your life.
No, Your Honor.
And you don't want that for your children.
No. He comes from a family of his mother raising 7 of them herself. So why would he want that for his daughter? And he sets her up. Oh, I'm going to take her out for her birthday. So I tell her, your daddy's coming to take you out for your birthday. He don't show up. He knows how that feels because his daddy used to do it to him.
Mr. Guzman, you walking a fine line with me today. Did you tell the baby you were coming to get her for her birthday and didn't show up?
I have never done that, honestly, Your Honor. No. I've never done that.
He said he was coming to pick her up?
Yes.
Every time I've said I was going to pick them up, I come to pick them up.
Because he refuses to give me money for anything. Babies don't live for free. You understand me? They need food. They need backpacks. They need clothes. They need everything. And he feels they live for free. He won't hand me a penny.
So that leads to your suit. You are suing for $544.50, which is half of $1,089, which is the amount you say you've spent. Now, Mr. Guzman, have you helped pay for any of the expenses that are outlined here?
I've given her money for them, yeah.
Because he don't got a number. 0.00 ain't a number. Sorry.
All right.
Who was there? Not you. I should have brought one of my little sugar daddies to come help me. That's what you're not understanding. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
That's why I don't want to be with her or around her ever.
Okay. On the one hand, couples do fall out, and there are harsh words spoken between both, and quite frankly, they can cut like daggers. Only problem is when there's 2 beautiful, innocent children in between the daggers, they can potentially hit them. So you got a smart mouth, and you telling how you should get your sugar daddy, and he's talking about how you sleep around, and what we've already come to realize in this court is that a child could potentially have heard this. You got one child you know is the both of yours. You're downgrading that child's mother, that child's father. You need to stop it. It's nonsense. Now, I can't rule on this particular claim until I know the results of the paternity. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's go to the results. Jerome, do you have the envelope?
I do.
The results were prepared today by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to 4-year-old Michaela Guzman, Mr. Guzman, you are her father.
I told you, and look at everything you missed out on.
Are you serious? I have to deal with her now? I'm gonna have to deal with her?
You've been
For how
having to
much
deal
longer?
with me. You don't want to do anything.
I have one kid,
You
and
don't
I have
wanna do
another.
anything.
This is great.
You know, I would have expected something better for a man that just found out he was the father of this beautiful little girl. I would have expected more. And just when I was about to dig into Miss Sanchez about her downgrading you, you go and live up to her very low expectations of you by proclaiming, now I gotta deal with her, now I gotta deal with her. That's so immature. Now, Miss Sanchez, you're very emotional, and I wanna know what it is you're feeling.
Because my daughter has suffered. Because when it came to me wanting to spend holidays with him, that ain't my kid. Why do I gotta spend holidays with you? I want my kids to be able to wake up with their dad and mom and open presents together, or go to a place and have Thanksgiving together.
I have no
and my
problem
daughter has had to
having my
suffer
kids
because
and
of
taking
his
care of my kids.
immaturities.
Yeah, I don't want to have nothing to do with her, though.
So let's talk reality, because this court is about how do we go forward. It has been determined that you are Michaela's father. You are now responsible for her. As it relates to her claim for $544.50, her suit, because she has spent that money and has provided the court with expenses, you owe her that money.
That's not a problem, Your Honor.
You understand?
That's not a problem.
Lastly, you don't want to have to be with her to want to be a good father to your children.
And I do, Your Honor.
And Ms. Sanchez, you make sure you set the example for those young girls. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Every time there's a problem, you don't run into the next man's arms. That's what got you in trouble right here.
Yes, Your Honor.
You learn how to be a strong woman. And sometimes you have to learn how to figure things out on your own. But you're not always looking for a savior in life. You can save yourself. Ms. Smith, you claim that your teenage crush on the much older defendant led you to becoming pregnant more than 2 decades ago. You say Mr. Brooks has denied fathering your son, Jimmy, ever since. And today, you want to prove he is Jimmy's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, you claim you had no knowledge of this pregnancy or its resulting child until Jimmy was 12 years old. You say Ms. Smith was seeing other men around the time of her conception, and there's no way you could be the father. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, Ms. Smith, how did this relationship start?
We met in the neighborhood through a mutual friend in the neighborhood that Mr. Brooks used to cut his hair. So I kind of like knew Mr. Brooks through him, and I just had a crush on him.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Yes,
So you
Your
had
Honor.
an innocent little crush on him.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how did it develop into a romantic relationship?
We never had a romantic relationship because I never had a chance to know him.
So how did it turn into a sexual relationship?
I lied about my age, and Mr. Brooks happened to take me out one evening, and I lied to my mother about where I was going to be and who I was going to be with. So he wound up taking me out. We were supposed to go to the movies, but we wound up going to a cheesy motel that he could afford.
And you have sex with him?
Yes, and I was a virgin, and he knew it.
Was that the only time you had sex with Mr. Brooks?
Yes, one, and I'm happy. I'm happy that was my only time. So.
And you believe that one night is what resulted in the conception of your son, Jimmy?
Yes, Your Honor.
You couldn't even take her to the movies, Mr. Brooks?
Well, she didn't want to go to the movies.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
She wanted to go straight to the hotel.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay.
That's how she wanted
That's
to
a
do
lie.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes?
did you know this younger woman had a crush on you?
No.
You didn't?
No.
You're lying.
So why would you even ever ask her out?
Well, we were just flirting with each other. And I asked her, do you want to go hang out? And she didn't decide where she wanted to go at, so I said, well, let's go to the hotel somewhere.
And so take me to the days so you have sex. Do you use protection?
No, ma'am.
So
Your
no
Honor.
protection. No protection,
No.
Mr. Brooks?
No.
Just meet a young girl and take her to the motel and have unprotected sex. And so at some point, Miss Smith, you realize you're pregnant.
Yes.
When? Take me to that day.
So we had to go to the clinic for our tests for school, for sports. The school nurse gave me a test, and it came up that I was pregnant.
Okay. And did you have to tell your mother who you thought the father of the child was?
I really didn't go into details, but I did tell her that it was an older man. That's it. I never told her who it was till later on.
So, did you tell Mr. Brooks or did your mother call Mr. Brooks?
I told him, and I
so
told him
Mr. Brooks, did she call you or was it in person? Do you remember?
Well,
when you found out she was
I
pregnant?
never found out nothing about no pregnancy.
You lying, Mr. Brooks.
So you're saying you never found out she was pregnant at all?
I never found out.
He's lying, Your Honor. Matter of fact, I walked to the neighborhood store, and he saw me, and Kevin ran, like he always do.
And you were about to tell him you were pregnant, or did you already tell him?
He knew I was pregnant. Everybody in the neighborhood knew. So the word was getting back.
But did you tell him he was the father?
No, I didn't tell him the father just yet because he wasn't around, like saying. He would be in the neighborhood, go to the store, and I would see him off and on. So when I finally got a chance to see him, that was when I was about to have my son. He said that's not his. That was the last time I seen Kevin until Jimmy was almost a year old. I seen him at that same corner store, and he said, "Why did you name him that stupid name? Why he doesn't have my name?"
That never happened.
He's lying, Your Honor. Your Honor, we met. Kevin was in the store, and you gave me a few dollars. That's the time that I bought my son, Jimmy, an outfit and a pair of tennis shoes and some Pampers. You don't remember that?
Only in your mind.
All right, whatever. You're
mind.
a liar. You're a liar. You're a known liar.
So, Mr. Brooks, it's your assertion you have no recollection of that?
None of that never happened. We had sex, but before she telling me about Jimmy, I never knew nothing about Jimmy till he was 12.
How did you find out about him?
She told it to me. Yeah, I asked her why I haven't got a chance to be in his life if he's my son.
He's lying, Your Honor. When Jimmy was 12 years old, we found out that Kevin Brooks was deceased.
Well, who told you I was deceased?
We went to court because I was getting in the military, and the courts in where we was in Virginia ran that they have to have both parents involved before they could give any guardianship to another family member. So when I gave them Kevin Brooks' name, and the court system had to run it through the system, birthday and all, it came back that Kevin was deceased. And Jimmy was 12 years old. I would go back and forth home to New Orleans to look for him because I didn't believe that he was deceased.
What, so, Mr. Brooks, if they told Miss Smith you were deceased when Jimmy was 12, when she was trying to enlist, how is it you remember meeting up with her when Jimmy was 12? I don't understand that.
I was in the old neighborhood.
He never met me when Jimmy was 12. You're lying. He's lying. He did not see me when Jimmy was 12.
You were in the old neighborhood, and what happened?
She came in the neighborhood, and she said, "We have a son." And I said, well, how old is he? She said, "He's 12. I said, well, how come I haven't met him yet?
Lauren Lake here, giving you 5 seconds to subscribe and click on the notification bell. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When my baby was 12, I got to talk to Kevin near social media, and he was avoiding me then, asking me about Jimmy, lying and saying he wasn't his son.
Oh, so this is the encounter you're talking about, Mr. Brooks, but Miss Smith says this happened over social media, not in person.
The only thing happened on social media, she sent me a fake Facebook page.
Oh my God, he is a liar, Your Honor. And
tell me how you kept searching for him. I want to get this. They tell you he's deceased. You say you don't believe that, so you started doing what?
My own research. When I would go home, back and forth home to New Orleans, I would always take the kids back to the old neighborhood. And it was a mutual friend of ours. He told me Kevin wasn't deceased, that Kevin was in Texas. So I would continue on looking for him. And last year, I finally got in touch with Kevin near Facebook.
Through social media?
Yes, through social media.
And you sent a request?
Yes, and he answered, and that's when I started questioning him again and asking him questions just to make sure it was you.
Did you use your own profile?
Yes, I did.
She sent another picture.
Oh my God!
She sent another picture. Another picture of an officer.
Was it another picture, or was it just that you hadn't seen her in so long you didn't know who it was?
It was a whole nother picture of an officer. It was an officer that had been deceased.
I am an officer.
If she'd have used her face, I would never have
Okay, so once you found out it was her, obviously the conversation turned to Jimmy.
No, it turned to us.
It turned to...
The conversation was starting with us. And then we would talk almost every other day, through social media, and Kevin did give me his phone number, and I gave him mine, and we was talking about arranging to meet so his son could see him. And during all our conversations, be truthful about it, we was talking about, other things, about what if this wouldn't have happened when I was younger, how would it have turned out with us if we would have been in a real relationship. And I did have feelings for Kevin, even though I didn't know him, but he's my child's father. So yeah, that conjured up some old feelings, but he's not gonna be truthful about it.
Are you gonna be truthful about it, Mr. Brooks?
I already told you, I don't think I'm his dad.
You are his father, and stop it. You are his father.
You were sleeping with other people.
You was the only man I ever slept with, and I was a virgin, thank you.
I don't think so.
You were probably high, that's why you didn't know.
I'd like to hear from Jimmy at this time. Up until this point, who did you grow up believing was your biological father?
The streets.
The streets.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's just what it is with growing up without a father, You just, you tend to go to negativity than positive because I don't know any good male role models. None. So that's what I did. I fell victim to that part. So when we started talking, I didn't really get into nothing deep. And as my mom was like, we gonna take a trip. We're gonna go meet him, we're gonna go take the test. We had our own DNA test thing.
And so you actually met him a year ago?
Yes, ma'am.
In person?
Yes, ma'am.
How did that go?
It was just a bad vibe. You just get that bad vibe from somebody. So I just went with the flow, cause hey, cool, I'm gonna keep it going. So we talked, we cracking jokes. We decided to go get some food, get some dinner. And he had to get home or whatever. We couldn't get the test done that day, but the next day, so we in the car, and they going back and forth talking about taking the test and this and that. I was just being funny with it, like, yo, let's just knock this out, let's just do this and we go our own ways. So we pull up to a restaurant and he asked, can he speak to me? So I got the car and we go talk. As I was approaching the car and I looked back, he was gone.
He ran from us.
Tell me about the moment he ran, because you say you're all in each other's presence. Your mom and him are going back and forth about this DNA test.
We were sitting in the car.
In the car, and you're saying, let's just get it done. Let's just
out the car.
Get it over
Yeah,
with.
he hopped out the car, and we had to convince him to get back in the car, and that's when we pulled up to the restaurant, and that's when he wanted to talk.
Did he acknowledge that he was your father? Did he say you're much?
He said he could be, he won't. I mean, it's not like he said he wasn't, it's not like he said he was. He said, he wanted to knock it out too, but it's the way his attitude was about the situation. So when I walked to the car and I looked back, he was gone. I went down a couple blocks, looked for him, and then I wound up seeing him. So I hopped out the car. When I hopped out the car, I was like, yo, what you doing? So he kept going.
He was running.
He was running or walking?
Running.
I was chasing him for a minute.
He's right. I mean,
it wasn't hard to spot him,
no. This is. Sometimes you just gotta laugh to keep from crying because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're saying a grown man is literally running from a DNA test,
running from his son and us.
And you, Jimmy, in that moment, start chasing after him like, hey, let's just get this done.
I don't care, but I got 2 daughters. Like, I'm there for them 100%. And then when I leave, he gonna call me and ask me, can he move in my crib? I'm like, what? Are you tweaking?
Yes, he wanted to come to Virginia with us. And I was going to give him that opportunity just so he can have a relationship with his son and his granddaughters.
So, Mr. Brooks, how is it that you can go all of these years without providing anything for your son, a child that could be your son, only to then turn around and ask him to provide shelter for you?
That's not true.
So that didn't happen?
That never happened.
You didn't ask them to come live in the house?
No.
So when you met your son, did you run away from the DNA test? Did you get out and start running and Jimmy had to chase behind you?
It didn't, not because
Tell
the
the
DNA
truth.
tests, not because the DNA test. I had problems with my wife. She acted crazy.
His wife didn't come
My
out
wife
there.
came out there. She had on some booty color shorts
It's
on.
90 degrees in
She
New
had on
Orleans,
some
so
booty
yes,
color shorts
it wasn't
on.
no booty colors.
She had on some,
What?
She had on some booty color shorts.
What are booty color shorts?
It's booty colors.
Your honor.
Oh, booty cutters.
It was inappropriate.
Listen, what I'm trying to find out from you, have you done anything proactive to help solve this paternity issue that you've been facing for all these years?
To prove that if he's my son, I can go to a relationship with him.
And that's what you're trying to do today.
To
But
prove
up
that.
until today, you have not. And at the
She told me when he was 12 years old. The next time I seen him, he was 23 years old.
Lying.
So I can't build up a
Hold on, hold on.
One.
I also want to understand fully your doubt.
I just think that we just had a one-night stand.
So, and you had sex with her one time.
One time.
And that's what caused you to doubt.
Exactly.
All right, I've heard enough. I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here.
Can I say something?
What would you like to say, Jimmy?
So all I asked her was, you know what I'm saying, let's just knock this out the way. That's a chapter, bam, that's gone. And you know, we get this.
And then you can maybe start new.
I mean,
on new terms.
Yeah, new terms. But at the same time, like, whether he is or not, I'm still gonna be good. You know, I'm still gonna be happy. I hope he can be happy.
Well, I believe I have heard sufficient testimony in this case, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the results. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Smith versus Brooks, when it comes to 24-year-old Jimmy Smith, it has been determined by this court. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brooks, you are the father.
Told you. I told you. I was a virgin.
You are the father.
And the only thing I lied about was my age.
That's the only part I came here for, to find out the results. All the other lies, she can build all that kind of foolishness in her own head.
I'm good.
I was going with the results.
How does it feel to know for certain now that this smart young man who has spoke so eloquently in this courtroom about what your absence has meant in his life?
That was on his mom.
How dare you suggest you have no blame in this? This man, the one memory he has of you is you running away from him. If you're not gonna say anything constructive and you're not gonna tell the truth, just don't say anything.
Yana, I got through a lot of stuff in life, and my mom's like, she always looked out for me and made sure I was straight. I'm good.
This is what I want to ask you, bro. This is the thing. I'm your father. I just didn't appreciate going along with the lies like that. And we can put that behind us with all the lies. I ain't worried about the lies no more. You my son. All right? You receive that?
You are not offering the olive branch that this young man deserves. You talking about the past, and we all trying to figure out how to go to the future. Do you want to have a relationship with your son?
We can have one.
And no, do you want to?
Y'all want one.
There you go.
Child.
Okay, hold on.
He's my child. He's my son.
That's right.